Welcome back. I have a lot of plans for this week. There's going to be kind of some bouncing around, but one of the things I'd like to get done this week is to create a wreath for the front door. And I'd like to do everything foraged from the property. And that's just because I like a natural look, and also it's a lot more affordable. So I'm just going to take us on a little walkabout and see what we can find to make a wreath. So these are all cleared for the winter, and they're pretty flexible. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off a bunch of these to make our wreath frame. I didn't want to buy really anything for this wreath, so I'm just going to collect some of these to make a nice base to add all our other stuff to. Look at all these rose hips. I can't wait to see what these roses are like. I'm so excited to see them all in full bloom later on. These might make a fun addition to our wreath also, for a little pop of color. I might come back and grab some of those. Snowberries are super seasonal and make a nice little wintry look. So I'll collect some of these for the wreath as well. Let's head in and get making it. Now that I have all of my foraged materials collected, it's time to start making the wreath. And as I mentioned, I don't have a wreath form. I'm doing everything just 100% foraged. So I went ahead and collected these pretty flexible reeds. I'm going to use those as my wreath form, so that'll be kind of the base. And then from there, I'll start adding my fir and my cedar on here so that it looks like a traditional winter holiday wreath. I also do collect some snowberries and some different lichens that I can add in there as well. So I'm going to be using a larger gauge wire than normal. This is a rebar wire. Generally I'd use like a 22 or a 24 gauge, which is quite a bit smaller, but this is what the hardware store had that was super affordable. And like I said, it's a little thicker than normal, but it's still nice and flexible. I'll still be able to use it really effectively. So I have my basic rustic wreath form ready. I know it looks a little rough right now, but once I'm done getting all of my decorations onto it, it's gonna look really great. And I'm gonna go ahead and start doing that, and I'll show you as I go. All right, so I finished up getting all of the greenery on the wreath. I also have some lichen and some snowberries to fit in, but I think what I'm gonna do is go hang it on the door first and then just kind of work those things in. So I'll show you how that goes. All right, so this is what my wreath looks like. As you notice, I like a more wild foraged look. So I'm quite happy with kind of the parts of it that are not quite uniform. But if you're not happy with that, it's pretty easy to, once you get to this stage, look at what you don't like and just trim it off if you want something more round. The one thing I would say is this part is a little bit not quite as full as I would have liked, and when it was laying on the table it looked a little more full. So that would be maybe a spot where I might add a little bit more greenery in. I can also just wrap some of this greenery in and around, and that can make it look more full also. So what I'm going to do now is just take some of my little snowberries and kind of decide where I want to add them in. Alright, so here is my wreath so far. I think the other thing I'm going to go grab are some rose hips that I have over in the yard, just for a little pop of color. I really like how simple it is. I don't like a lot of frill. I like it to be very natural, but I do think that a little pop of red rose hips would be really nice. So I'm going to go grab a few of those and I'll be right back. I added some of these little rose hips and I got all my lichens in as well, and it just looks like the forest collected itself right on my door, which is exactly what I like it to look like. It smells lovely from the cedar and it should last quite a while. Like I said, I like this sort of asymmetrical look, but if you don't like that, it'd be easy to clip these up or trim them down, whatever you want for the look of your wreath. I quite like it. So good morning. I woke up to a power outage, so sorry about the lighting. I'm going to be working on some stuff in the bathroom today, which is where we are now. And I got everything that needs to be painted. You can see behind me what's not painted. That will eventually be covered up by beadboard, so I didn't waste the paint covering that up. So what I'm going to be doing now is installing a new shower head, a new shower curtain rod, with a new shower curtain and shower curtain hangers. And I also have this really cool towel rack that I'm going to be installing. And these just fold down, and that's what you put your towels on. So that'll be really pretty once everything else is up too. These also have little magnets on the back, so once you put them up, they don't fall down on their own. So I just thought that was kind of unique and really pretty. got these cool double-sided shower curtain hooks. I've never had these before, but they seem like they might be a little bit smoother than regular ones. So I'm gonna give them a shot. Plus they're matte black to match everything else. And there it is, fully installed. Please excuse the mess. There's a lot going on in here. Big construction area. Well, maybe not construction, but project. Oh, that's... And there she is. So I will eventually be getting a new tub and tub surround, but it's going to be a couple months before it arrives. So this is what I'm working with until then. Thanks for stopping in this week. I hope to see you next week.